Hey everyone, and welcome to the Box Institute tutorial on how to use filtering and sorting in Microsoft Excel. So let's go ahead and get started. Here we have our data set, and what this data set is a list of products that we sold, how many we sold, and then also the total sales for each of those items that we sold. So what we're going to do first is we are going to sort this data. So pretend we want to look at our total sales and we want to sort this from the highest number of total sales to the lowest number of total sales. So the first thing we do is we highlight the data. We then go up to sort, which is found under the data tab here. So we have home, insert, page layout, formulas, and then data. We then go to sort. And then we decide what column we want to sort the data. So we already said we want to sort the data for column C, and we want to sort it from highest to lowest. So as you can see here, if we look at sort by column, it shows column A, B, and C. But what we have is we have headings on our columns. So we want to tell it that we have headings. So the first thing we do is we check this box that says my data has headers. And once we check that, it now recognizes that this is not part of the data. These are the headers. And now when we click the sort by, it gives us those heading names. So the first thing we wanted to do was we wanted to sort this by total sales. And we wanted to do largest to smallest. And we click OK. And there we go. It automatically sorted our data from highest number of total sales to the lowest number of total sales. Now we can also sort this data by product. So now if we highlight the data again, we go up to sort, right? We can change this, the total sales, from, say, product. Let's just sort it by product, A to Z. And now when we click OK, it sorts it for us and puts all the baseball bats first, right? All the footballs next, anything in alphabetical order. Now what we can actually do with this is we can sort it a number of different ways. So if we highlight the data again, we go back up to sort, we can see that it already is sorting it by product A to Z. Now let's say we want to look at, based on those products, we want to look at the quantity sold highest to lowest. So now we would add another level. We would go to quantity sold, and we would do largest to smallest. And now when we click OK, you can see it keeps that first sort, right? So they're all grouped by product. And now it's in order of highest quantity sold to lowest quantity sold for each of these here. So that's a really interesting way to be able to sort the data and look at the data in a much different way. The next thing we want to do is resort this by total sales, highest to lowest. So let's highlight that. Let's go to what we're going to do is we're going to remove this one, right? Because we really don't need the product one, and we don't need the quantity sold. So we're going to change this to total sales, largest to smallest. Sort that. There we go. Now we're going to sort it by quantity sold. So let's go up to sort. We're going to add another layer. We're going to say quantity sold, largest to smallest, and there we go. Now we have a whole list of data, and we have it sorted in a very special way. What we want to do now is we want to look at the filtering capability of Excel. And the filtering capability allows us to choose what rows we want to see based on a certain criteria. So if we highlight the data here, and we go up to filter, again, this is found on the data tab, we go to filter, it's now going to give us these little drop down arrows across our headers. And if we click on that, and it'll show us each of the items that we have, right, from a high level. And say we only want to look at our hockey helmets. So if we unselect all of them, and then we click on hockey helmet, and we say OK, it filters the data to allow us to only see the hockey helmets. And you can see that there's some hidden rows here, right? Because it goes 1, 2, 3, 10, 23, 24. So it hid some of those rows of the data that we're not interested in looking at. So now we can go back and we can say, well, you know what? We want to look at hockey helmets, but we also want to look at frisbees and footballs too. And then when we click on that, it shows us those different products as well. So that's a really interesting way to take a look at using filters and how those filters can allow us to look at data in a special way. Now, if we go over to the total sales, we can say, oh, okay, we want to look at all the sales that are in the $2,000 range. We check those. We say, oh, look at that. We had 2 total sales for hockey helmets that were over $2,000. Let's see if there's any other information on there as well. So what we have to do that is we have to clear the filter for this one. And let's clear the filter on this one also. And now let's go back to total sales, let's unselect, and let's choose the ones that are over $2,000. And you can see it's only hockey helmets. There's no other products that we sold over $2,000 worth. But let's take a look and say, okay, let's see how many we sold over $1,000. So that includes anything over $1,000 up past $2,000. And there you see we sold hockey helmets, football, baseball bats, more footballs, and baseball bats. These are the orders that we had that were in over $1,000. So there you have it. That's how you check out sorting and filtering in Excel. If you like this video, check out the next one.